talking and there's no mic. Okay, mic's on now. Hopefully that fixes that and you guys can hear me now. I'm learning this OBS software. This is new to me. I've tried it once before. So I'm experimenting. So bear with me as I work through the bugs. I am working on getting some new things to add to this so that I can have different cameras. Hold on, let me see if I can figure out how to type to you guys. It's sort of hard to do all this at once. Okay, so hopefully the audio is caught up and you guys can hear me now. We'll start over. This is OBS software. It lets me preload different videos, different clips, make backgrounds like what you're seeing here, you know, the little Tron looking background. Your lip read is poor, that's great. So today I'm experimenting with OBS software and we are going to be going through some preloaded clips that I have on 360 cameras, as well as I want to talk about the Skydio 2, which is a drone that I just placed an order for. It hopefully will be here either this week or next week. There's a ton of snow coming up to my area this week, so honestly, I probably wouldn't have much time to mess with it this week anyways. Let me turn this way. There we go. And I do have a lot of plans to mess with that, and hopefully it wasn't a waste of money. That thing was a $1,500 drone once I got all the accessories. Let me see if I can. I'm going to try something with your chat. You guys can't see this, so that I can see what you guys are saying easier over here. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I wish I could show you what I'm doing behind the scenes. So, yeah, there we go. Now you can see what you guys are saying. Way better. Hey, Rick just joined us. Okay. So, yep. Genesee, I'm just starting to mess with, I'm just starting to mess with OBS. It seems like it has a lot of potential, a lot of possibilities. I do like how I've been able to make this background, and I've got like different ones, so I can change and go, whoa, it's all Tron related. You know, you notice the background, it's just like my wall. Where's my wall? There. All the hexagon stuff. So I'm trying to make it sort of themed, trying to make it all work together. But I don't even know if it's worth showing the chat in the window like this because, honestly, it's really small on my screen. I don't know if you guys can even read it. It might be sort of cool for like a playback when someone watches this after the fact if they weren't here live. I thought that might be sort of cool to include it. Let's see, chunk of change, yes. The Skydio, let's talk about that first before we go into some other things. The Skydio 2, with everything I got for it, I only got one extra battery, cost me just under $1,500, which is a lot for me. It's frozen, that's no good. Hopefully it's not frozen still. You guys can hear me. Let's see. Skydio 2. Okay, you can read it with your glasses on. That's great. So it's not frozen. It seems to be freezing and unfreezing. Is it hopefully working for everyone? Where everything's Wi-Fi, so I don't have a hard wire to any of this. So hopefully the chat will go. Hopefully the video doesn't completely interrupt. But for those of you who are not familiar with the Skydio 2, it is a pretty much near autonomous drone, which has 6 little cameras all around it, plus the camera that you film with, that reads the environment so that it can follow you and not run into stuff all automatically by tracing a beacon that you can hold in your pocket or whatnot, or in your hand. That allows it to cut in and out of trees, avoid other obstacles that might be in the way, walls, whatever, trees most likely for the most part. I'm hoping to take it snowboarding with me and see how it does, not only in the big open bowls, but how will it work when it drops from like 13,000 feet down to like 9,500, 10,000 feet in a quick 1 or 2, like a drop, like on a slope, because you start at the top of a mountain at about 1,300 feet and you're riding down within a minute, you're down at 9,000 feet or 9,500 feet. I had a lot of issues with my other drones trying to follow that, where they would just sort of stop because I would get out of view and they would just hang out there, and that sort of sucks. So I'm hoping that the Skydio can do that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's going to only be good for summertime stuff around the lake and riding skateboards, which would really be a waste of money in my opinion. So some of you know, hey, L Stacker, good to see you in here. Look at that, Melissa and L Stacker know each other. So Melissa is actually someone that lives in the area, and she snowboards, and I've snowboarded with her a few times, and she's also on my buddy's Jonathan's channel. They just did heli ski, and if you guys missed the link that I posted on my YouTube channel the other day of them doing that, it's pretty dope, and it's definitely on my bucket list for one of these days. All right, off subject. Let's get back on subject a little bit here. Yeah, thanks, AJ. You got me that. It's actually put a notch in my neck because I haven't taken it off in like 30 years or 20 years or whatever. All right, so let's see. We'll go over to full screen here for a minute, and that seems to be working pretty good. I want to talk about one thing real quick. Not long ago, I went to an event called Vid Summit, and Vid Summit, I don't know if it was a waste of money. I'm thinking I got a lot of video I took from it, and I have been considering making a video about it, if it's worth the money or not, because it's not cheap. It cost almost as much or around the same amount for me to go for just like 2 or 3 days as it cost me to buy that Skydio 2 drone. So it's something I feel like I should probably make a video about for those who might be interested. But while I was there, I was able to ask Casey Neistat, who is a video creator here on YouTube as well, my thoughts about storytelling versus just sort of making a video about a product. As in my opinion, I personally like to make videos that have a story, and that's why you don't see me making a lot of videos lately, is because it takes a lot of time to film in different locations, come back, and then edit those all together. Like the video that I just posted about the Burton Step-On videos, 3 seasons with the Burton Step-Ons. That was 3 winters worth of filming, and it took me 2 weeks to actually go through all that content to put that video together with new content that I filmed to go with it. I personally believe it's one of my better edits. If you're into snowboarding or not, I think it's a great video, and if you are trying to learn how to make videos, I definitely would recommend watching that one and trying to analyze why I put it together the way I did, how I put B-roll over it so that you hopefully wouldn't get bored, as you're probably getting bored with this because I haven't put any B-roll yet. Oh, Melissa, how was the mountain today? You just did a little riding today. That's great. And L Stacker, I always forget where you're at. You're in New Jersey. Okay, cool. You just answered it before I even asked. TJ Parsons, greeting, welcome to the chat. If you guys have questions of anything, I'm looking at the chat while I'm doing this so I can try to get back to you and answer. I want to answer everybody's questions. I want to try to go through this, explore the OBS software, as well as answer questions about drones, snowboarding, and obviously action cameras. This little bad boy right here has become my favorite go-to action camera recently. Over the Insta1X, over the GoPro 8, over all of that. This thing is so close to being the perfect camera. And I'm going to talk more about that later. All right, so while I was at Vid Summit, I did get to ask Casey his opinion on story versus just sort of talking about stuff, because all the people that teach you how to do YouTube, it's all about just repetition, one product, one channel, one subject matter, and it drives me absolutely crazy on my channel whenever all I do is drones and drone content and more drones and drone content and more drones and drone content, and it drives me crazy. I love drones to death. I do. I love the videos I can get from them. I love being able to mix them into other story-based content, and I love helping people with how I use them if I can. But I got to do more than just that, so that's why I've been doing more with these 360 cameras, because they are pretty insane. Let's see. Okay, so John just asked me a question. Have you tried the Insta360 1R? I'm assuming you mean the 1-inch for the 1R. I have not. The 1-inch is actually just turning it, I think, into an action camera. So it would be more like just using a GoPro, but with a 1-inch sensor. That's dirty. However, from what I understand, and I haven't gotten one yet, I'm supposed to be getting one hopefully sometime this month, but let me tell you the thing that's like people are not mentioning. So when you use a 360 camera, if I use this in 360 mode, hold on, let me get back to that. John, I'll answer your question in just a second. I got sidetracked. I do that a lot, so forgive me. While I was at Vid Summit, I did ask Casey about that story versus content, and I thought I would share it with everybody.
Okay, we're going to start with Boy.
All right, so you talk about a lot of the people that try to teach YouTube, they talk about small niche, narrow down your target. You don't do that. You talk about stories. So what are your thoughts on story-based content versus really narrowing down to just a small niche?
Well, I think that what I'm passionate about is story. The things that excite me are story. And I think that the negative side of focusing on a niche are when individuals or when creators focus on what they think people want to see. There's a niche here because I think people want to see this. I think that can be a mistake. When that's a positive, when that's a net gain, or when creators have a passion and their passion happens to be a niche, happens to be something hyper-specific. Because it's better to have someone that can speak to one thing to the 100th degree than to have someone who can speak to 10 things to the 10th degree. So I think there's a tremendous amount of value behind that, but it is vital that those creators are attaching a kind of intent to what they're doing. That intent is driven by their desire, not by what they see as an opportunity in the space.
Cool, thank you.
Of course.
As you can see, Casey was definitely more of a story-based guy, and I like to do story-based stuff myself. It's just so much harder. It's so much harder. Like, for example, right now I'm in the middle of filming and editing a video, a review for a drone product. Let's see if I can reach it. It's a tablet mount. How do you make a story out of that? Like, really, seriously, how do you, it's wires and a tablet mount, and I'm supposed to make a story, and I can't. The video's done being filmed, and I'm editing it, and this is a giveaway, by the way. So if you are subscribed to the channel, someone who flies drones, you're gonna get wires and a tablet mount for free. I'm gonna ship it to you, so just stay tuned for that. But making a story out of something like that, it's a lot of work. It's that particular video I'm working on right now, it's not gonna be much of a story. However, most of the stuff I do, I try to come up with a way to make it entertaining. And that Burton step-on video that I just did, that's a great example, because I really believe that that video is entertaining, even if you're not into getting a pair of Burton step-ons. All right, let me see if I missed anything on the chat here. Jenna, you are 100% right. It is a ton of work being a content creator, and it's not to be taken for granted what we see on YouTube. That is true. That Burton step-on video, 2 weeks of editing, 3 seasons of filming. This video about maybe an hour of filming and probably like an hour of editing when I'm done, maybe 2 hours. I don't make much money on content that you see on YouTube. I'm lucky to make anywhere from $150 to $250 on average, not much at all. So I do this because I enjoy it, and when I share a product, it's because I actually think it's a good product. And if I'm sharing it and I think it's a bad product, I'm gonna tell you it's a bad product. Because, you know, if I'm using this stuff anyways, I like editing videos. I like the creation aspect of this, and I like the back and forth with the people who have been here for a while. So what else can I do besides just sort of share things with you? Like, that's the point, right? To hopefully keep someone else from buying some crap that they shouldn't buy. All right, now let's get back over to, let's see. Give me a second, I'm going through the chat. Have you tried the Insta360 One? Okay, we were talking about the Insta360 1R, the 1R versus the GoPro. So, we'll get back to that conversation, because that's actually something that's important. At least I think so. If you're into content creating and filming yourself snowboarding, filming yourself boating, or filming yourself doing anything, what of these type of cameras is really the best one for you? I've got the Insta360 One X. I've obviously got the GoPro Max, the GoPro 8, the GoPro 7, and some other GoPros, and some Osmo Actions, and a bunch of other things. So my thoughts, and I can't confirm this yet, I'm waiting to get the 1R. Okay, the 1R has the same sensor and the same basic specs as the 1X. It's not much different. If you already have the 1X, it's probably not worth upgrading, especially if you have a GoPro or Osmo Action. It's probably not worth upgrading if you have those, okay? One thing people are not mentioning is if you do the 1R and you do the 1-inch sensor, or you use it in the action mode, from what I understand, and I'll know this hopefully as soon as I get one, and I will make a video all about it if so, when you do use a 360 camera in 360 mode, you have to then export the footage into either your iPad, your phone, or your computer. And then you have to use viewpoints. You have to actually select what the camera sees, because it's actually filming the whole time around you. So all these videos without the poll that I've made with these 360 cameras, there's an extra step of editing. Now with the GoPro, a regular action camera, you film it, you can take the SD card out, put it in your computer, the files are ready to go. All you do is put them in your editing software and chop them where you want to chop them, put music to it, done. Not the case with a 360. Okay, so you do have to edit them. You have to choose where you're looking. You have to then select how far out, how far in, all that kind of stuff. And then you bring those files into your other editing software, chop them all up, put music to them, and so forth. Now, the point I'm getting at is on the 1R with the action camera, from what I understand, you still have to put it into the 1R app, edit it one time through, and then you can send it out to your editing software. I really hope that's not the case, because if so, I would never use it as an action camera. I would only use it as the 360 camera, and the module for the action camera would be useless. I would use this all day long in a heartbeat just for ease of editing. Now, the difference with the 1 or the Max is, although some of the specs in this are lower, it doesn't do 60 frames a second in 360 mode. It does do 60 frames a second in hero mode. And hero mode is when it works exactly like this. So you can take the files out and chop them up just like it's a regular old action camera. It's a one unit. It's an all-in-one contained unit that lets you use it 100% like an action camera or 100% like a 360 camera. And I firmly believe this is the way of the future. Not a modular camera, not multiple cameras, but one camera in a small package that can really just do it all. All right, now let's look at this at the chat. Why not do both story and specific content? AJ, I do actually do story and specific content. I just enjoy story content more, so I find myself constantly trying to come up with stories, even if it's just for something like this. I fail miserably a lot of the time, but it is, I think it's the artist in me that wants to make things look different, that wants to make there be a reason for it besides, here's a product, I like the product, I dislike the product. I mean, hell, that's part of the reason that I'm fancying up all this background. I mean, that wall there, that wasn't here when I moved in here. I made that. All this stuff, those are old, where is it? There we go. The old skateboards. Those have been in my studio setup ever since I started YouTube. And I'm going to continue to always have those in it. All right, let's see where we're at. Oh, Mike B, aka Drone Ranger. Hey man, how are you doing? It's good to see you on here. It's cool to see like that I have like these different groups of people in the chat. I've got people that follow for snowboard content, people that follow for drone content, and it's cool to see this live because I've never really see you guys all on one video. If I do a drone video, the drone people comment. If I do a snowboard video, the snowboard people comment. But here on the live, this is pretty cool. If I can figure out a way to get everyone sort of mixing and talking, that's pretty dope. Jim's droning, man. I've been doing okay. I have been very busy. One of the reasons I have not been on here lately was I had a guest artist in town, and I thought that would free me up a lot to have a lot of extra time to do stuff and make videos, and it was the exact opposite. I had a lot less time. So here I am. He is out of town. I've been messing with OBS. I thought this would be a cool way to just sort of update everybody, show everybody a few things, as well as hang out, because I haven't seen everybody in forever. All right. John Callis says, hey guys. And Mike BK says to Rick, thought we had wrenches on Sean's channel before. Not, I don't know how to do wrenches. Honestly, the wrenches makes everyone sort of a moderator or something. Let's see. Oh, I can select people's names, remove them. I can go to hide user and channel or add moderators. So I assume the wrenches are moderators, but I don't do live very much, so I don't know. Maybe that's what you're talking about. The cost on the camera. John asked what the cost on the camera was. I think this one's around 500, and this one's around 350. So the Max is a little pricier than the 1X. However, the GoPro's cheaper or around the same as all of them. They aren't cheap, but this is a 2-for-1. Now keep in mind, it's something like this right now. Currently, the way that it is, you only get. Let me see. What was I going to say? The way that it currently is, you do not get 4K when you're using it in regular action mode, like a regular GoPro. This does get a better picture than this when it's in action mode. But if you're using that stuff just for YouTube, 80% or so of the people that watch your content are going to be on their phones, and 1080 is plenty good for that. So it needs a higher frame rate, though. It only has up to 60 in that, and I think it should have a minimum of 120. 240 would be killer, just like it does in the GoPro. So let me show you guys some of these powder shots here. This is done with Insta360 and X. Hopefully you can hear me over this video. So I'm basically holding it on a pole. The pole goes invisible, and then I edit it after the fact. You can speed it up. The 1X, that blur feature you see, that is actually, oops, sorry, wrong ones. That is actually something done in the app. Okay, so that, if you are really good at editing, you could do that in Premiere. You could figure out how to do that in Final Cut, but the app lets you do that much easier. And that's pretty cool because the 1X and the 1R both have a more in-depth app to edit these than GoPro's. GoPro's app is okay. It's all right, but it's not as in-depth as those. So I like the camera better, but I like the app better with Insta360. Let's see. What else? This here is interesting. This is a clip that I took out of right there. Oh my God, that was funny. I took this clip out of the step-on video clip just because it's really hilarious to me, and I like the fact that I've collected all these clips. Some of these are filmed with the GoPro. That's an Insta360 and X. That's really just the GoPro. And you can tell because if you see the pole, it's obviously a GoPro.
Holy shit.
If you see
So my GoPro
no pole, it's a
broke
360
off.
camera.
I can't believe I found this.
So I love that I can, so this is cool because so far it seems like this is working. When I switch back and forth, you're able to see a video, you're able to see these shots that I'm putting together, and that is pretty cool. Oh, we have guests. Hello, come in, say hi. So one video I'm working on is with this little girl right here. Her name is Skylar, and it should be up this week. I'll give you do you have any of them with you? Maybe show, why don't you bring one in here? And I'll give you a hint. Well, you'll see what the video is about in a second. We are doing a blind taste test. She is a Girl Scout, and it has become Girl Scout cookie time. So I am editing a video, that's right, totally different content than what my normal content is, about the Girl Scout Samoa cookies. Yes. AJ, do you know AJ? You don't remember AJ, but he says hi. So we did a blindfold test if the Keebler Elves or the Girl Scouts cookies taste better. That's right, that's coming soon. And there'll be a link to her Girl Scout selling point, whatever. So if you guys want to buy some Girl Scout cookies, you'll be able to do that when that video comes live. What do you think of the this background here? It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
I can change it. Pretty dope. All right, so I'm not gonna ruin and tell you which cookies won. You'll have to watch that video to see. All right, let's get back to it. So I did the crashes. You guys see it? Look, I put together a B-Ride back screen, plays background music. Right? So I'm trying to build this OBS stuff so that it works out, and I can easily change the content around to put more drone stuff in, or 360 camera stuff in, or whatnot. So I do want to show you guys some videos on the 360 cameras. The Skydio is something that I'm going to talk about more when it comes in. Hopefully what I can do is sort of a live video like this after I've collected footage, so that I can have actual time with the product and then come back and show you guys pluses and minuses with different videos like this. So I'm going to switch over to a different screen, and this is the 360 mode of the GoPro Max. Hopefully you guys can hear me over this video. I think I got the audio down low enough. Maybe I'll turn that down a little more. Let me know if you can still hear me. But so this is all in 360 mode. So everything you see here I had to edit prior to actually making that video. So I'm basically just holding the camera out in front of me, and these little marble effects, that's all something you do in the app in post. I choose which way I want to point the camera, and I just make it so if either I'm in the shot or if I want to point it somewhere else. But look at the colors on that. The GoPro Max, the coloring is insane. It's so good. Like, I didn't edit that in post at all. The coloring is right out of the camera, which to me is incredibly impressive. Let's see. So then I put together this video, and so that's all I'm doing. Now that's the Insta360 but that's all I'm doing is holding the camera in different spots like that.
Just randomly into different places. I want to hold it in that position long enough to be able to actually get a clip that's usable. I hold it down towards the bottom and I snowboard towards the tail. What you have to remember is this entire time, I'm not concerned about what it's actually filming, because I know that it's filming everything around me. What I'm worried about is where I'm filming, the height of the stick. I film towards my feet, I film level at my waist to get those jumps. You can see how much movement is in that pole when I hit that jump. Steady as can be when you look at it through the lens of the Insta360. There's really no way that I could film myself and seem like the camera is so far away with such a short pole either. There's plenty of times that I've gone out filming myself using a short pole with a GoPro or the Osmo Action, and all I see is basically my head down to my knees, or I have to flip the camera around to only be able to see just my snowboard. I can't get all of me in it in the way that this camera can.
Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody watching if you're interested in these kind of things. The marble or tiny planet effect, I think, is something that's easy to overuse. I do like it. I like mixing it in there. As you can probably see in all my videos, I usually put something in there at least once. But I do think it's easy to overuse, and you need to make sure that you try to make the camera not look like it's just a 360 camera. You need to really be able to make it look like you're using just a regular GoPro at times, even though it's not. So the Insta360 One X is the clips you just saw me holding. I'm going to do another one with the GoPro Max, showing how that one works the same way. I do like the color profile more on this. I like the fact that the hero mode is on here. That's pretty incredible, and I'm going to get more to that in a minute. Let me show you a couple more clips. I'm going to show you guys a couple more clips on 360 stuff, and then we'll talk more about drone stuff. This one is the One X, and I haven't quite figured out OBS. I need to figure out how to turn the monitor on so I can actually hear what's going on. Maybe I can do that here. No. Oh shit, messed that up. I know there's a place where I can monitor the audio, and that's the problem I'm having right now, is I can't hear the audio of the video, so I don't know when it's over or what I'm saying in the video, so I'm accidentally talking over videos. Bear with me while you guys are looking at me. I'm actually looking to try to figure out where monitoring to device. Wait, external headphones? Did that work? Let me try. I might have fixed this. Hello, check. Nope, doesn't seem to be working. Damn it. Okay, that's something I will mess with probably later then, because it says monitoring device, external headphones. I've got that going, but I don't hear anything. So okay, back to the chat. All right, make sure if you guys want me to see like anything you write to me, tag me in it. You can put the @ symbol and then my name, and then that makes it glow orange on the screen. Or if you throw a super chat, it's obvious, but don't worry about that. I'm not asking for money. So just click the little @ symbol and put my name in, and I'll be able to see you're talking to me directly. And talk amongst yourselves too, man. Like, get to know each other. That's what this is all about. This is the community. The whole live thing is really so people can talk amongst themselves, share interest, you know, their shared interest, whether it be drones, 360 cameras, snowboarding, whatever. If any of that, I'm going to be doing more videos in 2020 that teach you how to use these, teach you how to use drones, and hopefully show you how I use them to make more story-based content. That's really the goal that I want, but that kind of stuff is more time extensive to make. Let's see. Please take a moment to hit that like. Oh, thank you very much, Mike B. I appreciate that a ton. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Okay, so what I was showing you guys was, let's see this 1X footage. So this is all filmed with the 1X. And you can see like the snow cap there. These are shots I couldn't do with a regular action camera. I mean, look how far away that looks like I have my own camera being followed. You can't do that with a regular. You obviously can't do that. But yeah, these are all with the 1X. Very similar technology to the GoPro Max. We're going to go over some shots with the GoPro Max next. But how possible would it be to get these kind of shots with, like, now on the GoPro Max, you notice that little notch? Okay, so that's my fault. That's not the camera's fault. I was using a connector that actually wasn't centered. So if you don't center your camera directly over the pole, then you get your stitch line, it becomes pretty obvious. But you could see the color difference between those two shots. You could definitely see how much bluer and how much more vivid and how much more dynamic range was in the GoPro Max versus the Insta360 X. Jenna, I don't know if you ever saw it, but I did a snowmobile video last season, early season, in deep powder, and in deep powder, those things are so much harder to ride than I'd ever imagined they would be. So this is one really cool thing about the GoPro Max, and you've probably heard me through this talking about hero mode. So let me try and show you this clip, and then I will talk to you about that. So hero mode, these are all hero mode clips. You notice it looks like I'm using a regular GoPro. But did you notice the stability? Let me show you that again. Watch the stability. Why is that not playing? Okay, watch the stability. The horizon. I'm turning the camera around, but the horizon is locked. And you notice that at the end there? Whenever I like almost fell, man, the stability in that is insane. Absolutely insane. It has a horizon lock mode in this camera, which locks in the horizon just like you hear, just like you'd think it would. So as you're doing this, it's like a gimbal. It's impressive, and that is something that the GoPro 8 doesn't have in it for whatever reason, but this does. And to me, that is worth the loss of 4K. It's worth the loss of 120 frames a second. It's worth the loss of 240 frames a second, and it's worth the loss of the other things. I would like to see GoPro push this out so that basically they smush these cameras together and all the features of the 8 were in here, as well as the 360 mode would jump up to at least 60 frames per second, so you could do smoother slow motion. And to me, that would be the ultimate camera. I would buy one of those. I would buy 2 of those in a heartbeat. They'd be so good. Okay. Yeah, Genesee and deep powder riding these snowmobiles is definitely much harder than I thought. Riding on snow trails, super easy. I would love to get myself on some snowmobiles with the Skydio 2 drone, have it follow me and see how it does on some trails. That, I think, would make a pretty cool video. So, as we were talking about the Max and the Hero mode and the Horizon lock, a video I did not long ago, I showed the two things versing each other. And this video is pretty much it right here. Let me before I play it, let me just try one more time to get my damn audio to work so that I can hear things, because it sort of sucks. No, we can't do it there. That's so strange. I can't get my audio to be monitored. Bear with me, guys. Like I said, I'm very new to this OBS software, and I am trying to figure it out. And I'm not having a lot of luck with the audio, at least. Hopefully I sound okay to you guys. Hopefully I'm using this mic right here, you see next to my ear, instead of the one built into my computer, because I think it's not as good. Because if I switch it, I'll show you. This is now the MacBook Pro mic, and it might be louder, but it also picks up a lot of other things. So I didn't like the sound of it, so that's why I switched it over to this. And this is it back again. Still, for some reason, my monitoring isn't working. All right. Let me show you this right here. This, to me, is insane. The one on the left is the GoPro Max. The one on the right is the GoPro 7. One's in a gimbal, one is not. And the one in the gimbal, did you see the shake? Did you see the shake in the one in the gimbal? The GoPro Max did not get the shake. Look at the color profile between the Max and the 7. Look how much blue. Those are unedited, okay? That's right out of the camera. I mean, that is insane. I personally love the look of the blue skies like that. I think that the Max is definitely more stable than even a GoPro and a gimbal. And that right there, there's a shake in the gimbal again. It's really, really crazy. Let me show you this other clip here coming up, and you'll see what I mean. I mean, it is mind-blowing. Has horizon leveling built in. So I'm moving this around like crazy, and the horizon should actually be staying level right now. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. That is the GoPro Max in hero mode, not 360 mode. That means you don't have to re-edit it. You don't have to choose what it's looking at after the fact. Just pop it in, and that's your footage. If you turn horizon lock on, it's that much more stable and that much more blue than what the 7 was, than what a gimbal is. It's what they're doing with these digitally, to me, is insane. It's absolutely mind-blowing, and I really see this becoming the future, not only for action cameras, but for drones as well. And I was so bummed when the Insta1R was announced that it was a modular system, and it wasn't actually just a drone that had a 360 camera like built in, you know, so that the digital stabilization did it all. I was bummed. I was definitely bummed. Oh, how many people we got in here? Did I lose everybody yet? We got 12 people watching, 10 likes. That means 2 of you didn't click like. Well, that's all right though. Anyways, let's do a little bit about talking about drones. Not long ago, I took the Mavic Zoom out. I guess it was a while now, in the summer. And some of you saw the video and some of you didn't. And I just wanted to share this clip from it. It was with this hawk. And I wish that there was a way that I could have filmed it better. But this hawk definitely was going after my drone. Didn't get it, but I thought I'd share the clip anyways. You guys saw some of the footage of the hawk chasing the Mavic, and the little trying to get away from it. It was sort of just a little bit of a butt clincher, but not too bad. They didn't get too close except for one time. Whoa. Yep, so that was a close call. I've had other calls or other flights where there was birds I've seen in it after the fact, and that hawk coming up and right in front of it, I didn't even see that. Like, I was just flying around, and I saw that footage after the fact. I had no idea that I was that close to having my drone just taken out. That guy changed his mind at the last second, which was lucky for me. Let's see, we don't have a lot of conversation going on in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and show just these couple of other things. Oh, look at that. Rick, you got your Skydio 2 days after you paid for it. And that would mean that what's this? I paid for it. Was it yesterday or the day before? I should hopefully have it Monday or Tuesday then. Genesee, no, I don't put stickers on my, well, I got a sticker for my shop on it. But no, I don't have eyes on it. If I was going to put eyes on it, I would probably paint my own. No offense to Ken. But, you know, that's sort of what I do is so I'd make some crazy ass gnarly eyes. But, yep, nope, I didn't have any eyes on it. But the Hawk still changed his mind at the last second. I thought I'd share with you guys. I know some of you made it to spin up, and some of you have no idea what that means. What is spin up? So before I show you this video clip, it was one of my favorite moments at spin up. Let me tell you what spin up is, and talk a little bit about the person who throws spin up on, Kelly Shores. So Spin Up is a once-a-year meetup of people into YouTube and people into drones. I'd like to see that continue. I'm sure Kelly's going to continue doing it. But it's been twice now that we've had it. We've had 2 seasons or 2 years of Spin Up. And it's in Austin, Texas, or has been in Austin, Texas for both of those years. And it's a group meetup. We all come there, and there's speakers that talk about drone stuff, that talk about YouTube stuff, and talk about social media stuff, so that we can all sort of meet up over a subject matter that we all have in common and just sort of hang out. And it's pretty great. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, this last year I was actually asked to be a speaker, which was dope. Ken from the original Dobo channel was there, and we hung out quite a bit. Ed Ricker as well, and of course I hung out with Kelly. And I have to share this one clip of Ken that was my favorite. So after Spin Up, there's an event then called Spin Down, and then the next day Ken stayed later, and Ed Ricker, myself, and Ken all went sort of exploring, and we came to...
I am done. Oh,
It's coming at you.
that's a bat.
That's a
Why
bat.
is he out at this hour?
Because he's probably sleeping somewhere over there.
Holy crap.
And that was my favorite moment from the entire event. Thank you, Ken, so much for letting me get that on film so that I can forever have that moment stored. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, it was even funnier in real life. Yes, the bat clip. Oh, man. I wish that everyone could have actually been there in real life. That his reaction to the bat was priceless. It was absolutely priceless. Oh, so let's see. I've got a couple more things put together here that I can share with you. Well, yeah, one more thing really. That I thought I'd just share some drone footage with you guys. Just a small compilation of some drone shots. I think overall this OBS test has been somewhat of a success. I think I need to be able to monitor what's actually being said or played in the videos, so that it's easier for me to talk about or not talk if I'm already talking in the videos. I think that's a big problem. So I'm going to have to figure out the monitoring. If everyone said the audio was okay, the camera I assume looks so okay. It's just the built-in camera on my MacBook Pro. I am, like I said, going to be buying this little unit that lets me plug in GoPros and Canons. Like that guy, where'd he go? Like that. Everything's reversed. So that I can have more cameras set up with different angles. I think that'd be pretty cool. I do have Kelly Shores from Ready Set Drone and Ed Ricker coming out here to do some snowboarding and some filming, some FPV stuff. I'm not going to say when, but we'll have a live chat whenever they're here too. We've booked a condo. We're all going to be staying in that and coming up to the studio here to make some content, as well as go filming them snowboard. That should be interesting, because I don't think Ed Ricker's ever done that. He said he skied. Kelly says he used to snowboard, so that should be pretty cool. So if you follow Kelly's channel over at Ready Set Drone, or Ed Ricker's channel over at Ed Ricker Vlogs, then they'll be posting content from their trip as well when that time comes. It's going to be a surprise. Could be a month from now, could be 2 months from now, but just make sure you stay tuned for that content when it comes. I'm not gonna ruin when. You're just gonna have to stay tuned for that. Oh, I forgot. I put a little picture-in-picture so I can still talk. So this is with the zoom. This is that cool. What is the name of that feature? Like, does this automatic rotate? I can't remember what it's called. I should have made some notes. The hyperlapse on the zoom is really cool. Love that. Of course, the asteroid. I love the asteroid. I know it can be overused, but I'm actually saving clips of the asteroid and doing this big compilation of all these asteroid shots. The cool thing about living where I'm at, you can fly through the clouds, and you're not illegal because they're not really clouds. It's actually more like a mist or a fog, depending on the day. But the height is so low. This is a pretty cool shot, like the lake in the summer with all the sailboats. I mean, that's such a nice thing to be able to just pan and just hold that. That's all manual flying. There are ways and tricks that you could set your drone up to do, and that would actually make a good video to show somebody how you can change the way your sticks works to make getting a shot like this that much easier. Although this is just regular sticks and regular flying. I forgot I was in the camera. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff in OBS that I'm working on trying to create. So these backgrounds, it seems to be working. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this sailboat, I couldn't stop following that guy. It was pretty dope. If anybody has any kind of content they want to see for future live shows, let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far into the video, definitely, let me know. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Love the hyperlapse. I love the hyperlapse. That's the Mavic Zoom at night. This one here is actually the odd. No, wait, is that the odd side? No, that's the original Mavic. Original Mavic 1 right there. You notice in the top left corner, it's sort of blurry. And my Mavic would sometimes blur just in the top left corner. Not always. The snow. That was in the summer, man. There's some snow for your bones. It's early season. But this is the kind of stuff that I'm going to bring Ed and Kelly to go explore and make some crazy videos. And hopefully between the three of us, we'll all have some really cool stuff that we put together. This is back in Texas. This was the first drone I ever owned, and that's the way I used to film. It was, well, not the first drone, but one of the first drones I ever owned, the Blade Chroma 350X. One of those two was either Blade Chroma or the 350QX. But this was as high as I used to fly, and you can just see the way it's so sporadic. It's just not the way I fly now. So it's interesting to me to have that old footage to see how different your editing skills come, how different your flying techniques become, and just to look back and see where you come from, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the footage. I don't know what else to really do. I know there's a game starting here shortly, so I think I'm going to wrap this up. So if you guys do watch sports, you can go and make sure you don't miss any. I have been working with new lights in here, so hopefully the lighting is pretty good. I think once I get this new component so I can get a more dedicated microphone, as well as dedicated cameras, I think that the built-in camera on the MacBook's doing okay, but there's room for improvement. So this is my last clip I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to get out of here. It is basically just me trying out all the different lights at once, and I will sort of leave after that. So I appreciate everyone hanging out with me. Like I said, if you're watching this in a replay, then leave comments below what you'd like to see in future live videos. Like I said, this is a test. Hopefully it wasn't a complete failure. I know I got a little carried away and jumped around a whole lot, but if you know me in real life, I do that in real life too, man. I'm sure AJ in here, Psycho's still there, he could verify that. You say squirrel, I'm all over the place. That's the hardest part for me with live things, and it was difficult even when I did a live speech to just stay focused. that's why editing is so easy, because I can chop out all the nonsense in between the points. And I do that. Like if you guys could see my videos before I edit them together, I'll be talking about this and I'll spend 5 minutes talking about this and I'll completely cut that out because it has nothing to do with point A. But let me show you guys these shots of the lights. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'm going to get outside and try to enjoy blow up a cow. Yep, that's me. Long story. Maybe I'll make a video about the blow up the cow one day. But for now, check out these lights and the different settings on them. Oops, that's the wrong video. Oh, well, that's pretty cool.
Thank you.